25 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock in the morning time. A wonderful good morning to you, Grenada, Carrick, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. And good morning to all of our listeners in Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band. It's a glorious, wonderful Wednesday morning. It's the 22nd day of the month of January. I say good morning to you, the Classic family, and good morning to each and every one of you that's there with us on GBN Television, Channel 7, Channel 11, and wherever you are on the different social media platform. It's your boy JC, Joseph Cadore, and indeed I wish you a really, 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 really great day. A day when I can encourage you to be the best version of yourself. And of course, we lend from the lyrics of Sonika McKee's song, Don't Let It Go. Whatever the troubles you're going through, the fights, whatever situation it is, I remind you it is only temporary for those challenges. But don't you ever, ever give up on life. If you have a dream, please don't let it go. You just got to know in your heart it's going to work out for sure. If I had that magical voice that sounded like that when I sang, if I opted to sing like Sonika McKee, another one of our angels, our real queens are a gem. We have so much untapped talent here in Ireland. But certainly want to say thank you for waking up at Classic in the morning time. And I want to challenge you again to be the best version of yourself, to do what you can to allow yourself to become better at what you do. So we're going to kickstart things today. It's going to be another great day. So much to happen, so much to achieve, so much to realize. But I want to encourage you, you have to do something different each and every day. You can't wake up with the same mental disposition. You can't wake up with the same physical disposition. You have to do something different. You know what's the perfect definition of lunacy or madness? Trying to do the same thing on a daily basis and hoping that you achieve a different result. It doesn't happen like that, unfortunately. Yes, sir. We're going to kickstart things with the word of the day, and to say thank you for choosing to be part of the Classic family. And those of you that's in the diaspora, I say good morning to you. A wonderful good morning. And I always have to say, because I understand and appreciate that you have choices, options that are available to you. But the fact that you've chosen Classic, it means for some reason you decided to stick with us. Yes, so we're going to kickstart things. We're going to give it a word of the day, the motivational tip of the day, and we're going to continue along that path in the morning time. There is a morning edition of news as we wait for the word of the day. The morning edition of news is going to come up somewhere around 15 minutes onto the hour, and we're also going to provide you with the nutritional tips for our friends inside of the Food and Nutritional Council. So let's go, Master Control, because my email is not opening up right now. The word of the day is apathy. Apathy. And an apathy refers to a lack of interest or concern. Apathy, a lack of interest or concern. And if used in a sentence, the team's apathy resulted in a poor performance. The team's apathy resulted in a poor performance. The word of the day, as you add to your vocabulary, apathy, a lack of concern or interest. Yes? So, what do you need to do? What is it that you seem so lackluster about? Disenchanted. Can't be bothered. You know what they say? Zafe. You know the expression? You just can't be bothered. bothered, whatever would be, would be. That's the word of the day. So you've added the word of the day to your repertoire, and now we want to give you to motivate you a little tidbit that allows you to think beyond who you are. The motivational tip of the day, and I know you probably may have your own, but we just want to share with you our motivational tip of the day. So, take breaks wisely. Rest when needed, but use breaks to recharge, not procrastinate. So the quote of the day is to take breaks wisely. But when you rest, when you take those breaks, you take that so that you can rest when it's needed, but not, and use those breaks to recharge, not procrastinate. Rejuvenate yourself, and procrastination means to put things off. Yeah, and it's one of the things that we sometimes we do without even realizing. There's an expression: you make hay while the sun shines, and procrastination is that culture that says, I will do it tomorrow. I will do it tomorrow. Whatever can be done today, do it today, because tomorrow is not a given. And that's what we always have to realize. Tomorrow does not belong to us. The next day, the next 5 minutes, the next minute doesn't belong to us. Let's live in the now. Put procrastination aside. And when you rest, allow it for a chance to rejuvenate. You rested last night, this morning, you recharge, you supercharge, and you're ready to go. You're ready for the demands and the asking of another day today, which is the 22nd day of the month of January. For those of you that celebrated birthdays, yes, we say happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating an anniversary, we say happy anniversary to you, and really, really, really enjoy the best that the day has to offer. Yeah, and those of you that's online, we say good morning to Tracy and the others that is online. Our nutritional tip of the day that comes up right about now.
Drink lots of water.
Research has shown that eating a healthy and balanced diet can reduce the risk of developing some types of cancers. Having a healthy, well-planned diet can help you to maintain healthy eating patterns, which can help to manage the body's weight and vitals. According to the American Institute for Cancer Research, having a healthier diet can help to prevent up to 1/3 of cancers. 50% of the most common cancers can be prevented by eating well, exercising, not smoking, protecting your skin, and getting vaccinated. It is also proven that being obese or overweight can put you at risk of developing some types of cancers. Cancer Research UK also advises that your overall diet, which is what you would normally eat over the course of a week, is more important than individual foods when it comes to cancer prevention. The research states that eating a healthy diet overall can help you to manage your weight. Eating whole grains regularly would help improve your digestive system, and eating fewer red meats would help you to reduce the occurrence of cancers in the bowel and digestive system. It is advised to eat more fruit and vegetables, eat lots of whole grains, and foods that are high in fiber. Eat some healthy sources of protein like fresh meat and fish, and eat less processed foods such as canned meats and red meat. And incorporate dairy if desired, as it can contribute towards a healthy, balanced diet. When it comes to cancer prevention, there is no meal plan or diet that can guarantee that you don't develop the disease. However, eating a healthy, balanced diet can reduce the risk. Grenada's food-based dietary guidelines advises that you should eat a variety of healthy and safe foods and add a larger number of fruits and colorful vegetables to your daily diet to help promote a healthy body. For example, regularly eating foods that are high in fiber can reduce the risk of bowel cancer. The guidelines also advises to flavor foods with local fresh seasonings and spices, avoid highly processed foods, snacks, and drinks as they are high in fat, salt, and sugar. Eat what you grow and grow what you eat. Drink more water and avoid alcohol. Implementing these habits in your daily life can help to promote healthier eating habits and a healthier lifestyle. Until next time, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council reminds you to look, eat, and feel well.
Rolls ring a bell? Yes, they keep the body working.
Until next time, we encourage you to eat well, take care of yourself, mentally, physically, and otherwise. And if you do all of that, hopefully, you can take care of yourself financially as well. We're keeping our eyes on the clock, 17 minutes onto the hour in the morning time. The morning edition of news is going to be on its way in just a bit. Well, just to give an appreciation as to what's buzzing in the news. Well, Carrick and Petite Martinique to benefit from sailing week in the region. Well, in Guyana, a taxi driver arrested in a housing ministry fraud scheme. Well, on the global front, tourism recovered to pre-pandemic levels in 2024, and that's according to the United Nations. And the St. George's Conference in George and the Anglican High School, they emerged victorious in latest Subway secondary school basketball games. Yes, that's some of the things that is trending in the news this morning. So this morning, later on, well, once the news is always over and done, we will be back with you. But for now, we'll take a quick commercial break and pay some bills, and then we'll come back with the morning edition of news.
Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
6:14 minutes onto the hour in the morning time. This is the GBN morning edition of news for today, Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. Coming up in the news, Carriacou and Petite Martinique to benefit from Sailing Week 2025. Regional law enforcement enhanced skills at training session in St. George. In the region, in Guyana specifically, where taxi drivers has been arrested in a housing scheme involving ministry fraud. Internationally, global tourism recovered to pre-pandemic levels in 2024. And in sports, well, we can tell you that St. George's Convent, St. George, and the Anglican High School, they've emerged victorious in the latest Subway Secondary School Basketball Championships. And these are the headlines. Details to come.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Welcome back with the details. I am Joseph Cadore. The new party leader for the new National Party, Emmeline Pear, is alleging a severe case of victimization in Carriacou and PD Martinique, especially relating to the distribution of aid post-Hurricane Beryl. The allegations were made during a press conference on Tuesday, which addressed several concerns, including the report of findings following the NNP's visit to the island.
Confronting the people of Carriacou and PT Martinique, and it was very obvious to us, the fear of victimization. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. And the videos are available for verification. The photos are available for verification. I had one situation where someone ran to hug me. I almost fell off the chair. And immediately after that individual noticed that there was a camera, she was almost begging, please do not post it because I do not want to lose my job. There's a real fear. People do not want to talk about their situations because they are fearful of victimization. People do not want to. One person was afraid to even shake my hand. She said, please take down the camera.
Well, she made a clarion call for the administration to allow free speech as well.
And I want to appeal to this administration, please, whatever you can do to assure people that they can live freely, they can speak freely in accordance to a right protected in the Constitution. I encourage you to do that.
Pierre also highlighted some other major post-Beryl concerns.
Many of the fishermen we met still have not received support, right? As we were counting, some 40 fishermen. And what was interesting is that many of them were pointing to people who received assistance that were not deserving of assistance. So in some cases, they did not even have any damages, but they received assistance. Persons appealing for support to get their loved ones back home. So there are still persons who have their loved ones in homes in Grenada because their roofs are still off. Elderly persons in the various homes here, I don't want to express some of what was shared, but I want to appeal, is there a way that we can get back more families to connect with each other? People are grieving, not being able to see their families.
Well, still on the Sister Isles, Carriacou and PD Martinique will benefit from this year's Selling Festival. The 2025 Pure Grenada and Inter-Caribbean Airwaves Selling Festival will start in Carriacou on the 26th of January and conclude in Grenada on the 31st with the final and overall prize-giving party. Co-manager of the Grenada Sailing Week 2025, Ariel Roberts, says the team behind this year's activity is keen on bringing revenue into the Sister Isles.
We have met with Minister Tevin Andrews and his new permanent secretary, Mr. Linois Perrott. So they are both very happy about us starting the Inter-Caribbean Airways and Pure Grenada Regatta in Carriacou, because although they have been devastated by Beryl, they are building back stronger. We have currently booked out all the accommodation in Harveyvale for our organizing committee and the crews on the boats, and we have now moved to Hillsborough, booking out accommodation there. This year we're also going to have transportation involved because, you know, Hillsborough is a little bit away from Harveyvale. So we are going to have shuttles running from Hillsborough to Harveyvale during the day to make sure we get our participants to the marina and ready to race. We are also going to have some dinghies in the bay wearing our Grenada Sailing Week shirts so that people who are on their boats can come up on shore, take part in the activities and get our participants to and from their boats. So we are also patronizing the different restaurants, the original Slipway, Las Iguanas. We're going to be buying food and drinks there, hosting our prize givings there. And Carriacou Marine, we're going to be utilizing their commissary and their ice. So all the restaurants, all the venues, a lot of the transportation vendors, we're making sure that we utilize them fully so that we can pump that financial injection into Carriacou and help them to build back better.
Well, this other story to tell about police officers from across the region have gathered in Grenada for two crucial law enforcement training programs aimed at strengthening regional security forces. A total of 32 participants, including 18 officers from the Royal Grenada Police Force, along with representatives from Barbados, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, and Dominica, are currently undergoing intensive courses hosted by the IGPF. The training includes the non-commissioned officer development course, which runs for 6 weeks, now into its third edition in Grenada, and the common facility development instructor course, which makes its first ever session on the island. These programs are designed to develop leadership skills, instructional capabilities, and operational expertise among regional officers. We continue with the news. Trinidad national Ashton Terry Williams, 32, is set to face a preliminary inquiry on May 19th. This is following his arrest and charges related to the fatal shooting of a 24-year-old Shaquille Alexander on September 13th last year. Williams, also known as South, was apprehended by police in the Montut Grandins community after a 5-day manhunt. Continuing with the news and moving into the region, a taxi operator from East Bank Demerara in Guyana has been arrested for allegedly orchestrating a fraudulent scheme involving false promises of housing allocation. David Singh, 39, is currently in police custody following multiple fraud allegations. Now, according to the Guyana Police Force Criminal Investigations Department, Singh allegedly solicited funds from various individuals by falsely claiming he was able to secure house lots for them through the Ministry of Housing. The investigation revealed that Singh, a former police officer, reportedly leveraged his past law enforcement connections and impersonated ministry officials to lend credibility to his scheme and intimidated victims. Singh is already facing 2 similar charges in court, and additional victims have recently come forward with new allegations. Well, this other story to tell you. Well, the start of Prince Harry's court battle against Rupert Murdoch's British newspaper group has been delayed at London's High Court amid chaos over last-minute settlement discussions between the two sides. Now, Harry and a former senior MP, Tom Watson, they are suing the news group newspaper over alleged unlawful activities carried out by journalists and private investigators working for its paper, which is the Sun and the defunct News of the World, from 1996 until 2011. What was supposed to have started an 8-week trial. Harry and Watson's lawyers, David Sherburne, yesterday asked the judge, Timothy Fancourt, for more time in order to continue the discussion. Well, that's your international. We also provided you locals and regional news. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll look at the latest that's happening in the wide and wonderful world of sports. At 4 minutes on to the hour, 7 o'clock, we look at what's happening in the wild and wonderful world of sports. Well, we start with games played in the Subway Secondary School Basketball Championship Female Division. Yes, well, in those games, St. Joseph's Convent St. George emerged victorious with that's over Wesley College, 33-19. Leading the charge for SJC was Kadesi Fare. She contributed 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 steals, while Ania Redhead, and she added 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 steals. Well, for Wesley College, Kyle Coutain and Shanera Brown each scored 8 points, with Coutain adding 2 rebounds and 2 steals. Brown, we can tell you, she grabbed 3 rebounds, and Faray was named the Subway Player of the Game. In another match, as the Anglican High School, they dominated Happy Hill 57-13. Well, for the Anglican High School, Young Francis, that's Canel Francis, Francis. She led the way with an impressive 31 points, while Azariah Stafford contributed 10 points. In another game, that's Happy Hill Secondary. That's the same game. That is Happy Hill Secondary. Nerissa Wilkinson, she scored 5 points, while Kennel Francis was recognized as the Subway Player of the Game. Well, here's what we can tell you in looking at cricket, others across the region. Grenada Zafi Fletcher, along with her captain, that's Haley Matthews, and teammate Shemaine Campbell, they made significant gains in the latest ICC Women's ODI Player Ranking, following their impactful showing in the opening contest of their 3-match series against Bangladesh. Here's what we can tell you. Well, Matthews, fresh off the match-winning century against a South Asian counterpart, jumped 4 places to a career-best 5th in the ODI ranking. She had an unbeaten 104 and to see the Caribbean side to a comfortable 9-wicket win in that opening encounter of the tournament. Meanwhile, Campbell's solid contribution with the bat saw her rise 1 spot to 52nd, and Fletcher improved bowling performance lifted her from 4 places to 28th. Still with news of cricket, the West Indies, the under-19 women now, they endured another tough outing at the ICC under-19 Women's T20 World Cup as they fell to Sri Lanka by 81 runs. A dismal performance with both bat and ball left the Caribbean side unable to contain a rampant Sri Lanka, who amassed 165 in their turn at the crease. The West Indies, they were then bowled out for 85 in 19.4 overs, their second defeat in the tournament. We can tell you that despite the setback, the young West Indies women still have a shot at progressing to the Super 6 stage if they can secure a win in their final group stage match against host, that's Malaysia, on Thursday. Defending champions India and Sri Lanka, they currently lead the group with 4 points each. There's one other story I wanted to tell you about before we leave, and yes, that's the game yesterday. Bangladesh, West Indies, they found themselves on the losing side as they've got the series all tied up 1-1. Yes, so the host restricted Bangladesh to 184 all out from 48.5 overs after Haley Matthews and that's the West Indies, they won the toss, but that's as far as it can go. Of course, they were eventually dismissed for 124. The series is all tied up. It's a 3-match series, and the decider will take place on Friday. A minute on to the hour of 7 o'clock. We take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we link up with our friends inside of the MBIA for the latest weather report. We're keeping an eye on the clock. 2 minutes gone past in the morning time. Tricia Miller and Lauren joins us live from the Met Office with the live weather report. Tricia, you're live.
Good morning to you and good morning to you listeners of GBN. It's a fair morning here at the airport. Winds are from the east at 8 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 15.5 millibars, which is above the mean, and it is rising. Present temperature 25.3 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 79%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 29.8 degrees Celsius, and the minimum temperature last night was 24.7 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 3.6 millimeters of rainfall were recorded here at the MBIA. This brings the total for the month so far to 69.9 millimeters. Now the public forecast valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with a few light brief showers. Winds east northeasterly to easterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Today's maximum temperature is expected to get up to 30.5 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate to rough, waves 7 to 10 feet in open waters. A marine advisory remains in effect. Tides will be high around 8 a.m. and low about 2 p.m. Sunset this evening at 6:05. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:32. So just to recap, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy and windy with a few light, brief showers. From the Met Office, Trisha Miller.
Thank you, Trisha. All the best to you. At 3 minutes gone past the hour, we now give you, well, there is the headlines, there is the recap of the headlines, but before we do that, just take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
If you are 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50-plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions apply.
At 4 minutes gone past the hour of 7 o'clock, and now for a recap of the headlines. Carriacou and Piedmont need to benefit from Sealing Week 2025. Law enforcement, well, they have an enhancement skills training here on island, while in Guyana, taxi driver arrested in housing ministry fraud scheme. While in sports, well, St. Joseph's Convent and the Anglican High School, they've emerged winners in the latest round of the Subway Secondary School Basketball Championship. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Joseph Cadore saying thanks for being part of the podcast, and thank you for staying with us here at Classic and on GBN Television.
Grenadians, the National Celebrations Committee invites you to celebrate the next 50, embracing a future of development, transformation, and unity as we ready ourselves to mark the Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence. On February 7th, 2025, activities include the Independence Monarch Competition semifinals, January 25th at Lassages Playing Field, with the final carded for Saturday, February 1st at the Sutters Bus Terminal. National Church Service, February 2nd, 3 p.m., Crossroad RC Church. February 6th, National Colors Day, Interministerial Competition and Independence Cultural Extravaganza from 7 p.m. at the Grenfell Bus Terminal. And on Friday, 7th, it's the grand finale at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. The Independence Day Rally, Military Parade, and Made in Grenada Expo. Let's all celebrate in true Grenadian unity the anniversary of our 51st independence.
Grenada is such a beautiful country. Island in the sun. Look at how we've grown, how far we've run. 50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. Going higher. 50 years we're blessed with forged in fire. Still reaching for more. From the people who came through sugar and change.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
And so it begins. A journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Get so much more with Quartz Ready Finance. Whether it's a furniture upgrade or appliance replacement, it's easy when you shop using Quartz Ready Finance. Get more flexibility by choosing your payment terms, more affordability with low monthly payments, and more access with fast and easy application. Plus, there's no down payment and you make your first payment in 30 days. Get great deals and gifts with select purchase. Get so much more with Quartz Ready Finance. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. 8 o'clock workers, hopefully you've left home already like Mr. Bean, and you've already acclimatized yourself with the plans for the day. I keep saying to you every day, if you start work at 8, you can't be getting at your seat, at your desk, on the construction site, wherever you are in the field at 8 o'clock. So if you're a farm worker, you have to reasonably get there before, and you get your tools, whatever implements you need for the day. 7:30 workers, don't wait until 6 at 7:30 to call your boss to tell your boss you're running late. By then, he has already figured that out. But the one person that didn't have an issue with being late this morning is my brother and pal, Captain Bean. Happy New Year's to you, comrade. The last time I saw you was once upon a time ago, and a long time ago. How's everything?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Pretty good.
How's family?
Everyone is fine.
Everybody, it's fine.
Can't complain.
Well, I don't mind if you complain, I just want to tell you that I don't have the...
Nobody listening. Nobody's listening. You better go in front of the mirror and complain.
No, and it's not just that, there are some people who might be willing to listen. I might be willing to listen. And I listen to you as a brother. But then halfway through it, I said I realized, well, hold on there. But Joe and I having the same problem.
The solution.
But the only good things I always keep saying, and it's always good not to complain, but as men, I encourage men to
get up and find
talk about it. Listen, if you can't pay the bills, don't sit and whine about it. What am I going to do? How much
can I pay? I can't pay all. That's the way to do.
And it's a simple equation.
And of course, have a conversation with the person that you're in.
Have a conversation.
I'm having a challenge here. How can we work this out?
Yeah, because sometimes we sit and
I can give you 5, I can give you 2 today.
And you'll be surprised that would be much more appropriate than you don't do that. You then get disconnected, and then you have a bigger headache because the utility company is now making certain demands on you.
Have a reconnection.
And you have a days and the inconvenience. Listen, folks, I keep saying that we need to be proactive, and just determine every month what is it that we need to do and just get it done. But you hear, Alistair, your capacity as the vice president of the Cooperative League, within the Cooperative League, and first and foremost, to agitate the conversation. We need a Cooperative League. There might be somebody out there that's thinking, what are they talking about?
So let me first of all say good morning to the listening and the viewing public. Happy New Year. Also, good morning to the credit union family, credit union people out there. I think every household in Grenada now should have a credit union member. I'm very positive that is happening. The credit union league is basically not a credit union league, but a cooperative league. We are the umbrella body for the credit unions and non-financial cooperatives in Grenada. So while we are the umbrella body for the 10 credit unions, we are also under our umbrella also for some of the non-financial cooperatives, the Subies Fishermen Corp, the Goa Fishermen Corp, and we are this year our trend is to have more of those non-financial cooperatives under the umbrella of the league.
What has the trend? Have you seen any specific trend in recent times?
Yes, we have seen that. We have seen a greater interest, and we are doing things to ensure that there's a greater interest from the non-financials. And what has happened, because you now have this umbrella organization that is strengthening its processes, you find that the confidence in the sector is growing. The stability of the sector, this is what we are all about, ensuring that as credit unions, we are forced to be reckoned with.
Let's talk about some of the smaller ones. It's not very often. You mentioned one. I think I'm probably hearing for the first time. I don't hear that often. The Subies
fishermen, Goa fishermen, right? And those are fishermen cooperatives, and what they do is to serve their particular sector within those communities.
Right.
And the league now gives them that added strength. We help them with training. We help them with some of their processes. We are looking to work closer with the Department of Cooperatives, because technically cooperatives fall under the Department of Cooperatives.
Right.
Ministry of I think the Ministry of Social Affairs are one of those. But as the league, as the umbrella body, we are able to provide them with some of the capacity building that they would not normally get within the public sector.
Share with us some of your overarching role, functions, and responsibilities, so at least as a public we can get a full appreciation of that.
Yeah, we act as an advocacy body for the credit unions, so things as legislation, introduction of new legislation, regulations. We work closely with the regulators to ensure that new systems that are being brought in place, that all credit unions are fully aware of them, compliance issues, because some of the smaller credit unions, while the larger credit unions in most cases are able to carry out these functions on their own, for some of the smaller credit unions or the smaller cooperatives, they do not have the capacity to provide some of these services.
Right.
So as a league, we assist them. We assist them with the compliance issues. We assist them with some of the reporting functions. So we provide that sort of support, institutional support or sectoral support.
Compliance to what and by whom?
Compliance to the regulations. There are certain benchmarks that you must adhere to. But some of them would not have the systems to properly monitor that. Imagine if you have a 15,000 membership or 20,000 membership for a larger credit union, you would have the software and the technology to deal with some of those.
Right.
Smaller ones, it becomes a little bit more onerous. It's more manual. So we are able to, and they may not be able to hire the professional to take care of that particular function.
Right.
So as a league, we would provide that function for them.
So you said compliance, you said regulations. What are some of those regulations that governs the day-to-day functions of these credit unions?
One of the simple ones, one of the ones that you hear about most is that of loan portfolio management and your percentage of non-performing loans. That's your loans that are over 90 days in arrears. Within the industry, the benchmark is no more than 5%.
Right.
So you at least if you have $100,000 in loans, then no more than 5,000 of that amount should be in the red. To use a financing term. So that is one of the regulations that you have to look at. You also look at your portfolio management in terms of how much cash do you have on hold at any one time versus the amounts you have out in loans. What percentage of those of your loan portfolio should be backed by cash?
Right.
These are some of the regulations that you look at. Your reporting. You have to ensure that all credit unions have to report to GAFIN, who is our regulator, on a monthly basis, laying out all of these key performance indicators. You have to report on those to ensure that, because at the end of the day, we are holding persons' money. It's a little man on the street, it's a little farmer, it's a little fisherman, it's a police officer, the teacher. We are holding their life savings in custody, so we have to ensure that these monies are properly managed.
Because every so often you hear, I mean, they are the bigger ones, the bigger credit unions, and every so often you hear, well, this one merges with that one, which is, I mean, mergers is
it's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Once properly managed.
Once properly managed. But what's your overarching sense, though, as the league, as a cooperative league, that the movement as it is it in a good place?
I think it's in an excellent place. Over the last 5 years, we have seen sustained growth within the credit union movement. Sustained, viable growth. As we see the disappearance of some of the commercial financial institutions, the role of the credit union has become even more pronounced, especially in some of our, I wouldn't call them rural communities, but some of our communities outside of St. George's.
Right.
Where most of the banks are now disappearing. The role of the credit union has become more pronounced. And what has happened with the growth of the sector, we are now able to provide non-traditional type services. So 20, 30 years ago, you go to the credit union for a small loan, for a travel loan, to buy a car. Now persons are coming to us and we are able to provide a service for all of their financial needs. That is the change that you are seeing, and I would say that the credit union is in an excellent place.
And I guess the reason for that, I guess the league would ensure that that is a standardization of operation. And I guess all of that would have to add to the trust that the general public confidence that people are putting in the credit unions.
Most definitely. In fact, contrary to most popular belief, and Joseph, you might be able to attest to that, the ordinary person placing their monies in a financial institution, the most important thing to them is if I put $20 in today, 5 years from now I can go back and my $20 will be safe.
Correct, yes.
And that is the sort of confidence that we want to ensure that the public has in the credit union movement, that their monies are in safe hands.
Safe hands, and at least not that you just get by the 20, but you get a little caca down it. You get a little caca down it. 21 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. My guest this morning is Vice President of the Cooperative League, Alistair Bain, and we're here to discuss the role of the league. And so, in short, in case you're just joining us, you are the umbrella body that keeps them, that offers support right,
to the sector.
And you do not necessarily manage their day-to-day operations.
Not. In fact, the league is made up of members of the credit unions. The league board is representative of the credit union sector. Board members from different credit unions are the persons.
If we look at the credit union as it is, and we look at the league, what are some of the structural differences that sets the credit union apart from other financial institutions? Try not to make it too complicated.
I make it very simple. We don't have our members are owners. That's the difference. The members of the credit union are the owners of the credit union.
And when you say they are the owners, bring that down for us.
In other words, every shareholder of a credit union, they are the ones that determine the fate of that credit union. So at a general meeting, unlike the rest of the business sector, where your votes at an AGM is determined by your investment in a company.
Right.
Every member, the person with $100 in shares, have the same one vote as the person with $1 million in shares. That is the uniqueness of the credit union movement. It's a member-owned organization.
And let's talk about the structure. So it doesn't matter, as you said, whether or not you've invested 100, 100,000. One man, one vote. Yes. You get to have a say. Unlike other entities where there is, let's say, a board,
and most times
directors.
You don't even know the board of directors.
Right.
It's comprised of.
And in the credit union, then I guess as the league, there's that clear, open structure that allows for visibility.
Definitely. So you have your AGM where every member has the opportunity to ask a question on anything. All your reports are laid bare on the table for examination. There's openness, there's transparency. You have a board of directors. Every credit union have a board of directors, and then you come down to your management staff. And what we have seen over the years is that we are able to attract some of the best professionals within the financial sector, within the credit union movement. That is the confidence and the growth and the sustainability that we see in the movement.
A question has been asked via social media. Who determines the fees that are charged to customers? And that is something I myself have realized more and more. Some have argued that we've seen a shift. Not sure how fast
that question is coming to the right sector.
If that shift is...
That fees that we're talking about here, you don't see it in credit unions, you see it in other financial institutions. In fact, we are burdened in the credit union movement. We are burdened by fees because we are not part of the monetary union. So we do not act as a clearing house. So we have to clear our accounts with the commercial sector. We face those fees.
But I'm not sure if they're referring to, so for example, if you're part of a particular credit union, they are, if you go to the ATM,
even those fees, we have little control over. The credit unions, the 4 credit unions that are now part of the Connex network.
Okay.
The Connex network is owned by one of the commercial banks and one credit union. The others are just members of the network, and we too pay a membership fee. So those fees that you are charged are determined by the network owners.
And
not necessarily
by the credit union.
By the credit unions who are members of the network.
And you could help us to appreciate that, because I know some people they fuss over it, but that is all part of the credit union's drive to offer you added service,
to bring the credit union to you.
Right.
I like to put it that way. We are bringing the credit union into your rooms. Instead of you having to go to a physical location to do some of your transactions, you are now able to do those in the comfort of your home. Most of the larger credit unions now offer online services. And what we are doing as a league, in terms of the future of the league, some of the things that we are looking at is that of shared services, where you can come to one office, probably at the league, and whether you are a member of Ariza, Communal, Grenville, Hermitage, you can access your account at that location, and you can access the services just as if you visited that branch in Sates or in Grenville or in St. George's.
We have to take a quick break, though. But there's some that afforded the argument that, in their opinion, that the credit union movement, for some reason, seem to be mirroring the traditional, the traditional banking sector. Yes. What would your response to that be?
My response to that is that as we get into the bigger leagues, we have to adopt some of the nuances of the bigger league. And it's all about protection.
Right.
Because what you may find is a lifting of the bar in terms of the threshold for borrowing and so, but these are all in an effort to ensure that we comply with the regulatory requirements. At the same time, I think it's the access to financial services at the credit union is a lot less onerous than within the commercial lending institutions.
Because I was asking you whether or not you were in any way concerned or fearful that persons may be hesitant because there's that fear that when you were saying that some of the commercial banks are not offering those rural services in those rural areas, outer parishes, that eventually you might see there may not be much of a difference in being able to identify those traditional banks and the credit union.
I think those differences are very pronounced. As I said, access to the persons, and the fact that as a member you're also an owner, so you have the various opportunities where you can interact with the most senior management. At your AGMs, all the credit unions have members forums where you can go in, you can speak to the members, to the representatives. So I think the access is a lot easier. And with some of the virtual initiatives, some of the introduction of technology, even the access has become the credit unions have become even more accessible.
But at least before we take a break, as a VP, you are satisfied that the movement is in a good place, strong place financially.
Yes, and as a result of that, when we come back from the break, I want to speak about the next step, the next big ticket item that we are moving to.
Alistair Bain, and he's the Vice President of the Grenada Cooperative, the Grenada League. We'll take a quick commercial break. It's exactly just about 28 minutes gone past the hour of 7 o'clock. Wherever you are, those on social media, we say good morning to you. Akeem Lewis and others. Jillian McIntyre that's watching from Boston. We say good morning to you. I know you saw the weather last night. There's been some really rare winds. And even yesterday in Grenada here, I got some winds. But for you folks that is out there, you know what? All I want to say is that I'm sorry. And when I say it, we smile, I mean, jokingly, but we're really, really sorry. You saw areas of Texas, even past Florida, and you start wondering, snow? Is that cold?
I was in Florida in December and just cold.
I love Grenada. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Are you ready for the ultimate culinary showdown? GBN presents Oil Down Fest. Oil Down Fest. Oil Down Fest 2025. Who will be crowned the Oil Down King or Queen? Compete to win in exciting categories like the most creative presentation and People's Choice. Mark your calendars, Saturday, February 1st, 2025. And join us in celebrating Grenada's 51st Independence Anniversary in style. Call or WhatsApp 473-407-8458 to register. Don't wait. Spots are filling up fast. This one-of-a-kind festival will feature electrifying music from Hot FM's top DJs, vibrant craft exhibition, and captivating performances by local artists. Don't miss the tastiest and most exciting event of the year, GBN's Oil Down Fest 2025. Saturday, February 1st.
Oh, they look real good,
Proudly supported by Flow.
Grenadians, the National Celebrations Committee invites you to celebrate the next 50, embracing a future of development, transformation, and unity as we ready ourselves to mark the Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence. On February 7th, 2025, activities include the Independence Monarch Competition semifinals, January 25th at Lassages Playing Field, with the final carded for Saturday, February 1st at the Sutters Bus Terminal. National Church Service, February 2nd, 3 p.m., Crossview RC Church. February 6th, National Colors Day, Interministerial Competition and Independence Cultural Extravaganza from 7 p.m. at the Grenfell Bus Terminal. And on Friday, 7th, it's the grand finale at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, the Independence Day Rally, Military Parade, and Made in Grenada Expo. Let's all celebrate in true Grenadian unity, the anniversary of our 51st independence.
Grenada is such a beautiful country.
That's just joining us. My guest this one is Alistair Bain, Vice President of the Grenada Cooperative League. We started off the conversation, Alistair, by looking at the role function of the league, and which serves as an overarching an umbrella body for the credit unions. So before the break, we established that you are satisfied as a league that the movement is in a good place. You've seen a lot of growth, productivity, profitability more so.
Yes.
And I think it's always important.
It's always important
to highlight that. But where to from here? What's on the horizon?
Some big things are on the horizon. Just at the close of 2024, November last year, we had our investment conference. And in 2025, the credit union sector, the credit union movement is going to be very bold. We have some bold initiatives. Key among them is that of driving investment growth within Grenada and within the wider region.
Right.
Within the sub-region, within the ECCU area. If you were to examine investment portfolio in Grenada, I would think even within the ECU area, it's less than 5%. In the US, there is about 62% of the US population invests in the stock market,
right,
in the equity market. And we are going to take a very bold initiative over the next 3 years to grow that investment in our local population to about 20%, to ensure that 20% of Grenadians are investors on the ECSE and other regulated markets within the region. That's the next big push that we are aiming at.
So let me first
Wealth
ask,
creation.
how do you, before we get to how you plan to do it though, why is it do you get a sense that is it a hesitation, lack of knowledge, or is it that lack of trust in the sector?
I think you have hit the two major hurdles smack on. One is lack of knowledge, and our initial impetus would be on financial literacy training, investment literacy,
right,
and lack of trust, because in Grenada we thought that we were investing a couple of years ago.
Right.
And we got ourselves caught into some Ponzi schemes.
Right, yes.
That brought a lot of tears, financial tears to some households and some organizations.
Correct.
And that in itself would make people a little bit timid. Once you hear investment, the red flags go up.
And you're saying just
memory flashes back of what you would have lost.
And I just want to say, just to put it into perspective, it wasn't a case whereby individuals collectively may have just lost at 500. There are individuals we're talking about their lifetime investment went down the drain.
Organizations lost pension funds. There are retirees who went home with an empty pocket. Persons who expected hundreds of thousands at the end of their service to the organization,
right,
and those were lost. But these were not regulated investments,
right?
So we are moving to that stage where we want to introduce regulated type investments that are regulated by the ECSE, and that is our next big ticket item. That wealth creation, generational wealth creation, where you have that passive income, where you can go to sleep and have your money working for you. After working hard for your money, you need to put the money to work hard for you. That's our trust.
And that is important, and it's a conversation that of generational wealth. Expand on that for me, Alistair, because some people are probably not. They're trying to get an appreciation of exactly what it means.
It means that you have a difference between wealth creation and savings. Savings, you are putting aside small incremental amount every month, and you get, as you said, you get a little caca on it, you get a little interest on it.
Right.
So it grows slowly. But of course, you need to change your car. You tap into that to buffer especially your capital type expenses. You need to buy a house, you tap into that. Whereas investment, you put these monies aside. The market works that money, so you put it in the trust of a broker,
right?
And they are now able to spend that money over time, and the growth of that becomes exponential over time. So it's not monies that you want to tap into ever so often, but these are monies that you will tap into if there is a major need.
Right.
But that growth is expected to walk you through.
You allow the market to do its due, and you trust that.
And you trust that. Yes.
And so, as part of that education, you will need to educate persons.
Yes.
Because while it is intended to grow,
there will be some risk.
There's always going to be market shocks.
Life always. Risk is one of the part of life that is constant.
Right.
There'll always be risk, but you have to measure those risks. Coming down to GBN this morning, there's a risk that you could have an accident.
And if you're going to look at life, and would you agree that risk, which is a managed risk, it is not part of that culturally that we've been used to, and even our education system has not traditionally allowed us prepared us for that.
It has not prepared us for entrepreneurship. It has not prepared us for that sort of big ticket type investment. We are taught to get an education so that we can get a job, save a little money for the rainy days.
And that's it.
That has been the traditional.
And I think most of us, we assume once we do that, we assume that we've satisfied
we are rich.
We are rich. Not realizing that we can be rich from saving, and we can be richer from investing.
Yes, I remember as a little boy growing up, I had a relative who came from Aruba, and he would always talk about his $10,000 in the bank, and how can one person have $10,000? That had to be impossible. Now you have $10,000, you're broke.
And it's interesting how time actually has evolved.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So what's going to be the plan on the ground? Because I mean, it will take a lot of
Education. Initially, education led by the league, education led by the individual credit unions. I must say that all our credit unions are on board with this.
Right.
From the education, you're talking about offering investment type products at the credit union, where you can access that service at the credit unions. And trusting, we have a number of broker dealers in Grenada and within the sub-region. Trusting these persons, they are regulated by the central bank and the CSRC. So trusting those persons, put these funds with them, and of course reporting back to the membership to say this is what your monies are doing.
And you would agree, Alistair, that more and more persons need to realize the need to have not just a secondary source, not just an alternative job, but multiple sources of savings, income, because you just never know.
Yes, you have to have several income streams. Some less riskier than others.
Right.
And we have to be mindful too that with risk and reward. And there's a difference between investing and getting caught up in some sort of get rich quickly type schemes that we have seen before.
But Granny talked to us about that already.
Yeah.
Probably working, sticking our eyes.
Sometimes, well, all the time, if it is too good, it isn't true. But for some reason, we always feel that this time you're going to be true.
And I think that is just the human nature.
Yes.
There's always something that says to us,
I could try it.
Let me roll the dice on that one.
Yeah, let me try it.
But that's not something the league.
We are not pushing that.
We're not pushing that.
We are saying let us invest responsibly. Let the credit unions guide you in this process. We are here to hold your hands. We are here to support you. We are here to lead this process.
And when you start having that conversation, you don't want to be myopic about it.
No.
You want to start thinking, my children,
of course,
my great-grand, how can I make a difference in their life?
Significant difference.
So that 30, 40 years from now,
you can see my grandfather, my father did this for us. Not just for me, for us.
And you would agree, though, that's the difference when you look at some families. There's some families, when you hear them, you think for generations,
they have always been around.
But they have money since Larry kind of time. And why is it that my family is not able?
And then you have the opposite, where you see a family that has been doing well, and then you see they start dwindling.
Right.
You see they start diminishing, and you wonder what costing them or something, what has happened.
It could just be
sometimes it's just planning,
right?
Long-term planning, vision. See where there's no vision, the people perish.
Well, and you being perished when the dollars in fact starts to run out. So how soon though can we see the implementation education process?
This has started. It started with our investment conference. We are going to have an annual investment conference where we will report back to the public in terms of the traction that we have gained. But as we speak at this moment, a consultant is being recruited. Contract negotiation is in place so that process can roll out within the first quarter of this year.
And those investments of which you speak, is it a case where individuals within the credit union is going to make that investment, or whereby the credit union themselves is going to make those investments on behalf of
the individual? So the investment product, the vision we have is that the investment product would be within the credit union.
Right.
So you have your investment account where you put X amount. The credit union would gather this money and under the umbrella of the league, we would make those investments, whether in government papers, on the regional government market, whether it's in shares or bonds initially within the region.
I want somebody to work for me. Help me make some money.
Yes. So we are here to do that.
Yeah.
The credit union will help you do that.
Well, I guess I am in a good place.
We've been doing that for years, but we are going to continue to do that at a faster pace, with a difference this time.
I think it is important that people realize that. But the challenge would be, how do you get people to look beyond their past challenges?
Yes.
Yeah. So besides those investment portfolios, what else? Anything else?
We are also looking at establishing a stabilization fund, which is basically like self-insurance, to ensure that if the sector undergoes any shock, or a particular credit union undergoes a shock, the league with this stabilization fund can come in and buffer them until they recover.
Well, I'm looking now that the league itself, the credit union is expanded, and it also creates room for employment.
Of course. So yes, so within the league, we are looking at expansion. We are looking at the construction of a complex at our Belmont location,
right,
that can house some of these services. We are talking services such as insurance services under the COPF, which is a regional insurance, credit union insurance that offers parametric type insurance. And there was some significant payout earlier this year, late last year, following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Our local farmers and fishermen can attest to the sort of payout that they receive under COPF, and you have heard it in the media. So we are looking at housing COPF within they are under the roof of the league. With that new building, we are looking at offering some of the shared services within the league, and of course with the launch of the stabilization fund and the investment portfolio, we are now talking about employment of professionals to ensure that these services are properly managed.
So this is not a willy-nilly sleep and wake up and somebody get this bright idea.
Yes,
it's going to be investments that's driven by expert opinion
and grounded within our strategic plan.
And I guess when we sit and look at it, Lester, we can probably start seeing maybe a supermarket, pharmacy. Is that part somewhere down the line?
Yes, you can see that. In fact, I visited a police credit union in Trinidad sometime in September, and under the roof, within the building, they have a department store, appliances, furniture.
Right.
That is owned by the credit union. So you enter the store.
Right.
You do your shopping, cashless shopping. You say, okay, I need a fridge, I need a stove, I need a living room set. It's going to be $10,000. You go up to the credit union, you get that loan.
Right.
Pay for those things right in there. You're not going outside to buy.
And I think once you start, you start coining the conversation in that sense, people start to realize, okay, this is for me.
Yes.
So this is not the rich boys that's getting the big cut.
This is ours.
This is, and so that's Weasel.
Yes. And of course we have the credit bureau coming on stream.
What is that?
That is where you can get your credit report. As it is now, you go to a financial institution, especially for persons who do not have a credit history.
Right.
And sometimes there's a challenge to access financing because have you borrowed from anyone before? No. You're not sure. You don't know the person in the financial space, and then we say phone a friend.
Right.
You call someone at another financial institution. Do you know Joseph Cadore? Does he have any business with you?
Right.
No. Or you call another one, well, he had a loan with us, but he doesn't pay it properly. And then you go back to the person and say, well, sorry, we can't help you because we are not getting a favorable credit report on you.
Right.
Now it's going to be properly structured on the service provider, regional service provider. So once you go to an institution, they are now able to pull that credit report and say, listen, based on your credit score, yes, you're good to go. So you may have had one bad loan some years ago. However, that was taken care of.
Right.
Having a bad loan doesn't make you a poor creditor. Sometimes it's just a situation at that particular time. It's how you're able to deal with it.
Deal with that.
Yeah.
And of course, it eliminates those sort of trend or school of thought where you figure, because he didn't like me, I go there and I find a man watching me funny because X, Y, and Z.
This man just come in and he tell you that he doing this, but you can't, save an account for him.
Right.
Nobody seem to know him. And then, of course, it also takes away the bad seeds from the bucket because you have some persons who are expert credit shoppers. They borrow from everybody and they find a way not to pay. Now you are able to eliminate those and you can have more confidence in lending.
So now the system is really offering greater protection to me.
Yes.
As a member.
Yes, because it's your money that we're lending out. Always remember.
And I think that's what credit unions, they always pride themselves in saying that, listen, it's not other people's money.
No, it's your money.
It is my money. And so certainly you want to be able to know that wherever your money is being invested, it's a secure investment that you can go to sleep at night knowing.
Because when we lend you $20,000, it's John $5,000, it's Barry $3,000, it's the other person monies that we put together and we trust it to you.
Right.
And I always like to say, it's like we take from everyone else, we rent it out to you, and we take a 5% every month that we call an interest.
Right.
Because you have their monies using. Of that 5%, they may get back too in interest on their savings, and the rest would go towards some of our administrative and operational costs. But it's really people's money.
You'd probably be surprised, and I say you, as we expand the conversation, as we keep our eyes on the clock too, the amount of people, as we talked about, it's no longer just going for a loan because school's opening,
right?
And I need a $5,000. But you get into the credit union, you got to realize people's livelihood. They've invested in livelihood, whether it's a bus, they invest in a business. That is what the credit union
is. That is what it's about. That is what it's about. Yeah, it's not for stopgap type financing anymore.
That's what Susu for.
It has moved from that, and Susu is okay, but we have grown out of that. We have grown out of that. We are now playing in the big league. I always want you to look at credit union as being part of that formal financial.
But we do want to say for those that's still in part of Susu, because Susu has this role.
Grow your Susu.
Grow your Susu. If you're in a Susu that you trust,
union.
and then say, listen guys, I got a $3,000 hand from my Susu. Let me put a $1,500 in here, and allow the credit union, allow the process to work with you. Also, I mean, certainly there is a lot that is going on, but certainly as a league, though, you would always want to at the end of the day, you would want persons to start thinking effectively. Money management, financial security. What's going to happen to me tomorrow? Not guessing.
I always say start planning your financial future from the first day you start thinking about working. I want to be a policeman. My salary would be X. From that X, this is the budget. This is what my monthly budget would be. And out of that, you have a little for investing, a little for saving. Start thinking about it even before you start working. Work with that plan.
Is that normally the general consensus?
I don't think so. I think in recent times we have become very consumer type focused, and what we want to see within the movement is a movement away from the consumer type borrowing,
right,
to productive type borrowing.
And when you see it, like, I remember when we were growing up, Mommy always said to you, listen, buy a piece of land.
Yeah, don't hang your hat. Your hat where your hand can reach.
Right. But you get a sense that young people seem to be more...
You want to buy a car.
It's not really saying that a car doesn't have...
It's not important,
purpose.
but it has its timing.
Right.
And that is what we have to look at spending and affordability.
Correct.
And while credit is available, as credit become more available, you find persons. You have to look at sustainable type credit also. And I don't want to bash anyone, but some of the micro lending institutions that you see there, when you look at those, you walk in and walk out with a loan, but you pay for it with a pound of flesh.
You got to sell a whole lot of things to get it. Yeah. And that is the truth. That is the truth. But certainly, as we wrap, though, and that's what we always want to support these sort of programs, support our partners who of course invest in the GBN to ensure that we can provide a platform that the general public can be educated on financial matters. But I like the direction that we're headed.
Thank you. And I would want to say thank you to Ariza, who are the owners, if I call it, of this program, for giving the league an opportunity at the beginning of the year to lay out the agenda of the sector. And that is what credit union is about people working with people. Cooperation among cooperators. That's one of the big things that we push. And I think Ariza has displayed that this morning by giving us this opportunity.
As we talk about the expansion and as we look to wrap, if you're old enough, you would remember Ariza, the journey along the years. And here we are. Big corporate building and looking.
So as a member, you can walk that good path with your credit union. And to do that, one of the things that we want to appeal to persons is to come out and support your credit union. Volunteer to serve on your boards, on your committees. Be a part of that movement. Be a part of the change that you want to see. Very often we find that some of our credit unions are basically, you see the same faces. We recycle the same faces on your board of directors, on your credit committees, on your supervisory committees.
Be part of the change.
Be part of the change. We are able to be able to do that.
Be part of the change. How do you be part of the change? You can be an active member in your credit union. Not just put your money in there, and be part of the change by understanding the plan and the scope and vision. Now, not just the league, but the credit union that they have for you and I. Be part of the change. As everywhere we do this, Ariza money-wise, you want to be able to realize that, listen, I have today, but tomorrow, there's no guarantee. You want to be, when you say put away, not just put away on the little in a little tin that somebody might find, but secure. Get involved in investment that has longevity. And is recognized. Recognized investment. And the days are going to come when you can say to an individual, listen, I don't have cash,
but I have equity in that organization.
And then people start looking at you differently. Yeah, your children start realizing, wow, Daddy has done well for me.
So I want to do. I want to replicate.
I want to replicate. And maybe I'll tell you wonder why is it sometimes your children. If you make that head start, invest something so that they can see you putting away for the rainy days.
It's my pleasure.
Indeed, it was a pleasure. Quite an enlightening conversation. We hope you on the outside, you're going to appreciate. We say thanks to Ariza as you continue to provide you the information that is needed, that you can take it and you can make an objective evaluation at the end of the day. Am I in a better place? Or how can I get to that place where I see the big boys, where I see Alistair. I notice I didn't say me, I see Alistair and the guys. Folks, all good things must come to an end. All good things must come to an end. Indeed, it's a pleasure being here with you. At the top of the hour, we'll join the BBC for a bulletin of news, and we'll milk the clock for the next hour, which will take us on to 9 o'clock thereafter, which is going to be to the point. Until then, so long, everybody. I want to encourage you to live life and love life. Treat each day as though it's your last day on planet Earth. And if it's all over, and when it's all over and done, you keep living again. Until then, so long. JC loves you. And visit your credit union somewhere, somehow, across the island, and ask them. Or if not, you can visit the league,
of course,
and get a full appreciation as to what's happening. So long, everybody. JC loves you. Have a great one.
Today's edition of Money Wise was made possible by